Well, hello to you. Hi, I'm Sarah, and I really love astrology. That's why I'm going to make this video today. It's actually my first video that I have ever made yet on YouTube. I have made a few on Facebook, but not YouTube. So today, I just want to discuss a few things just to introduce myself. Um, I will begin. So, I am a Sagittarius. I have always taken very much interest in astrology. I have been studying from, I don't know, the age of 12. I've always taken very keen interest in the science and psychology and things of that nature. You know, a very, very rudimentary type learning, but I still had that interest. And I always was interested in numbers and codes, figuring things out, and that's exactly what astrology is. It's figuring out the code, cracking the code, and that's what I love. So I have been doing that for a while. I am 34 years old, and so today I come to you to bring the following information. You may not know as much as you think you do about astrology, and that's not a bad thing. You know, most people do know what their zodiac sign is. And those following zodiacs are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Gemini. Pisces. Hello, everyone. I am Sarah, and today I come to you to bring you a message. Okay, so astrology is the topic of this video. I am making a video on astrology for the first time on YouTube. I have never done this before, so bear with me. Alright, so today's video is an introduction. It is going to just basically tell you who am I and what am I doing here. Oh, just joking. So I am a Sagittarius, okay? I'll just say that for now. What's happening here is that I love astrology. I study it a lot, and I've been doing it for quite some time. Probably since the age of 16. That's what I would think, yeah. So, I'm 34 now. And I love looking at astrology. I love deciphering the codes. There's just so many things to astrology that many people are just not aware of. And that's why I'm going to make this brief video today of talking, and I'm going to say a following message and things to you. This is fun. So we have the following signs. We have Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Now all people, not all, sorry, most people probably know their sign, and they may know a few things that just go along with that sign. The most well-known traits, and let's just go down the list really quick. We have Aries. Oh, they're hot-headed, man. Taurus. Oh, those stubborn. Oh, Gemini. Won't they shut up? Cancer. Oh, man, what a moody person. Leo. Oh, my God. He broke up with me again. Virgo. Oh, I don't like the way you did those dishes. There's a speck there. Libra. Can't we all just get along? Scorpio. You don't know me. You don't want to know me. Sagittarius. Oh my gosh, it's a puppy! Capricorn. I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna make it after all. And we have Aquarius. Oh, hey, what's happening? I don't adhere to your rules. Rules! And then we have Pisces. Where am I? Who am I? That's basically that's what's going on. So, those are just basic types of traits. Okay, so then we know the signs, correct? Now let's move on. The planets. There are 8 planets, and there are 2 luminaries. And the luminaries are the sun and the moon. The 8 planets are the Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto. These planets and luminaries do have an impact on our lives, whether you would like to believe it or not. Okay? For one thing, let's start with the moon. Very, very interesting. Now, with the moon, it is known to, in astrology, be how does one express their emotions? How would they emotionally react to any given situation? And this is tied in with many theories. Just a couple I'm going to throw out there. Okay, what happens here is that the moon is supposedly responsible for the tides of the ocean, somewhat in how they're controlled and so forth. And our bodies, they're consumed with what, 78% water, right? So it would make a lot of sense to me if the moon kind of did give us some kind of energy. That's what it's all about. To me, astrology is time and energy. I'm not talking about how we spend it. Well, actually, yes, it is. Okay, good. Good observation there, Sarah. Okay, so the moon. What's going on with the moon here is that, well, let me give you an interesting fact. I was reading that during a full moon, there are very many priestess and crime rates, including crimes of passion, a lot of homicides, things of an accidental nature. You know, just there's so much energy surrounding it. People just aren't doing what they usually do. They might emotionally react out of context. It really depends on what time the moon is in at that time. And I'm sorry, I'm just stumbling on my words here, but I get very excited when I speak about this. Okay, so we have that, the moon. Now the sun. We all know, and well, most of it, I think, the sun is the core of our being. Who are we? The sun represents that. And in a natal chart, and I will get to what a natal chart is, maybe it's probably at the end of this video, yeah. And it's going to tell you, hey, this is what's happening. This is where you zone in on your life there. And it kind of gives us a little hint of where to, like, expend our energy, to show off, to say, this is me world, and take it if you like it, whatever. Mercury. Mercury is how you communicate. It's associated with that anyways, and it's how you think. So if we think back to the signs of the zodiac, and we thought about the Sagittarius, okay, their sun sign is Sag, right? They're very fun. They like the jovial, laughing all the time, right? Sometimes. Whoa, wait a minute. This Sagittarius looks a little serious, though. Perhaps they have Mercury in Capricorn. Because the rule of thumb is that Mercury is never 28 degrees away from the sun, more than 28 degrees. So the Mercury usually falls in that sign, the preceding sign or the succeeding sign. So, yes. And the same thing with Venus. Now, Venus is 48 degrees away from the sun, so it's going to be doing the same kind of effect. You know what I mean? Venus is a planet of love. How do you love people? And now I'm just giving some, very generalized information here. Mars is how you expend your energy. And it is associated with your sex drive as well. We have Jupiter. Jupiter is where we're getting into a little of the murky waters. And what happens here is that Jupiter takes about 1 year to go through each sign, 12 years to go through the entire zodiac. And as things increase, we have Saturn, which takes roughly 28 years to go through one sign, and one cycle of the zodiac. And then we have Uranus, which I think is 84. Neptune, maybe, 146, and I don't know. My point is that it affects generations of people. The planets that I have just listed were personal, so they will affect you in a personal, more different way. As these other planets, they are going to affect generations of people. However, moving on, so in an astrological chart, Jupiter represents where do you expand your life? What's happening here? Where do I move? How do I progress and things of that nature? So Jupiter will help you figure that out. And if it doesn't, next is our little friend Saturn. No. Saturn is fun. No, well, not when you're going through a Saturn type situation, which I will get into in another video, most likely. I'm not sure. It's definitely. However, Saturn is associated with responsibility, obligations. Saturn puts a damper on your life sometimes. You want to go out and have fun on a roller coaster? Saturn says, no, you're going to fall off. Saturn likes to worry. It might even say, you're not going to that amusement park. We don't have the money. Saturn likes to restrict and get in the way, And it can teach, but it teaches us valuable lessons. I'll tell you a little more later. So now we're going to move on to the planet Uranus or Uranus or however you want to pronounce it. It doesn't matter to me, you know. So what's going on here is that Uranus is like, boom! That's what I mean. It just comes out of nowhere. You're like, what's happening here? What hit me? Whoa! Yeah, that's what Uranus does. Sudden. Very sudden, unexpected. And it's like, what happened? Whoa! And, yeah. And it's a very smart, intelligent planet. It's associated with technology. It's known to be associated with strokes of genius. Okay? So if I see Uranus in the chart, like conjunct someone's Sun or Mercury, I'm thinking, Alright, so then we're moving on. We have Neptune. My friend Neptune, where? No, go away, go away! Just joking. Neptune is associated with the following. Music. Let's start positively. We have the music, we have spirituality, we have dancing, the arts, music, and, like I said, music already, glamour, Hollywood, things that just aren't real, things that aren't what they appear to be. Neptune can be the rose-tinted glasses. Neptune can be the fog, the haze. Whoa. Someone going through like a Neptune transit or something associated with Neptune, or if they have a lot of Pisces activity in their chart, you might be wondering if this person's out on like the space cadet or something, You want to be careful with Neptune because it can be associated with addictions. Alcohol, drugs, anything addictive, gambling, sex. But it usually rules over mostly narcotics, to be honest with you. Not usually with sex. That was more of a Pluto thing, Mars maybe, but you never know. Moving on, Pluto. So, what about this magnificent little planet, or dwarf planet, or whatever you want to call it? I like it. Pluto is transformation, friend. It's all about let's get this done, let's do this right. And it's very, like I said, very gradual process with Pluto. But the outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, being as that they move so slow, their impact is rather insidious in your life. You may not see it coming. Whereas the other planets are more, whoa, they're easy to predict. They're the transstar anyway, so. And so Pluto, what I love about Pluto, it rules over the sign of Scorpio, okay? It also used to rule over the sign of Aries, I believe. Yes. No, I get confused. No. Yeah, I got it confused, like usual. So, anyways, Mars ruled over Scorpio. Mars ruled over Scorpio one time, and Aries at the same time. But then when Pluto was discovered, it began to become the claimants of rulership over Scorpio. And what I'm getting at is that since it's a transformational planet, so it's happening here. Scorpio, I believe, is the only sign to kind of go through what I would 3 stages of life. And this kind of makes great sense to me. Very perfect sense in a way. I'll explain. So we got the Scorpion. Did it. I'm evil. I'm going to do all this stuff. Flat. Nope. That's the lower evolved Scorpio. Now, now let's go with the next stage of Scorpio. The eagle. Fly like an eagle. Yeah, that's what's happening. Because they're flying, they're getting their freedom. Boom, they're busting out. They get off the ground and they get out, Then we're going to Phoenix. The Phoenix rising from the ashes because Pluto, it's associated with volcanoes. So think about it, boom. There's an explosion happening in life, but you can make it. You can do it. You can get through this. That's what Pluto's saying to you. That's the message of Pluto. Okay. So I think I covered what I wanted to say really in a very generic way. The signs and the planets that rule over. Well, I didn't get, no. Excuse me, let me backtrack. So then I told you with, all the keywords pretty much associated. So let's move on. Let's start with the moon. The moon rules over the sign of Cancer. Okay, so you'll notice that Cancer's maybe a little, like I said, the thing that they like to be known for the most, I guess, is their moody nature. You know what I mean? Cancers are also known for being great cooks. So let's say let's say that I'm a Sagittarius, and my my moon is in the sign of Cancer. Now, I may not be interested in eating like I'm not. But Cancer's moon may make me more nurturing, more so than a regular Sagittarius would be, which they are, okay, somewhat. And it would just add on. It would, what happens here is the moon would influence my emotions. So even though I'm a sun sign Sagittarius, I would think in the manner of a Cancer, if that makes sense. So if you want to do research on what Cancer would mean and anything like that, and apply it to the moon, then you would see that would help maybe how you would interact, or I'm sorry, emotionally react to something like boom, whoa. You wouldn't expect that out of someone. Now, let me tell you, my moon is not in Cancer. It's in Leo. So what happens here is that I blow everything out of proportion. I can be intense. You know what I mean? So it's just, I mean, I'm just joking, but that's what, Leos are known for their little drama of nature, theatrical, histrionics. Look at me, come on. I'm cool, I'm special. Ah! Just joking. But that's pretty much what's going on there. So that's my point. Just giving you just a little, synopsis or example rather. So then we have the Sun. I already covered that, and Mercury. Mercury rules over the two signs, Gemini and Virgo, and it does so in different ways. Now, Mercury, like I said, is linked with communication and the way that you think. So Gemini is all about communicating. They like to get across. If you know of a Gemini, they may be on it all the time. Like, hey, you want some information? I got that information. They do their research. They're smart. They're usually very witty. They have a lot to talk about. Sometimes they want to be quiet. That's fine. So what happens here is that's the energy that Mercury will provide Gemini. Now for Virgo, that's a different story. Mercury endows Virgo with the perfectionist type things associated with Mercury. Now, it's very interesting to me. Virgo is a very, very hard sign to understand to me. Probably one of the most hardest to me to figure out. And everybody has their signs they find, So, however, I digress. So what's happening here is that we have a Mercury person being ruled. They're being ruled, they're being controlled. No, I'm just joking. I just got distracted. I'm trying to think what I was going to say. I never really had to take notes before I do these types of things. I really should be more prepared. Anyway, so like I said, Mercury rules over Gemini and Virgo, and Mercury is associated with the nervous system. So we usually have a little bit of a nervous type disposition in both of these signs. If you notice, Gemini, they don't like to sit down much. Maybe they like to be on the move constantly. Their minds are moving a mile a minute. They don't have time, And then we have Virgo. Okay, so with Virgo, like I said, this is gonna take place in their stomachs. The nervousness will go straight to the stomach, And with Gemini, it will go maybe to the lungs. Sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Each sign has rulership over different health, and you see how intricate astrology can be, how fun and fascinating it is to me. I mean, I've studied so much, and I don't regret a second of it. Okay, so Venus. So Venus rules over two signs as well, Libra and Taurus, and it does so in different ways as Mercury does. So Venus bestows beauty in love, and it has to do with aesthetics and how do we see, how do we decorate our home, for instance. So in Taurus, we're gonna have a person that's, both signs are lovers of beauty. You know what I mean? And it affects, like I said, but in Taurus, they like, I don't know, more so they like possessions, They like to collect things. They may like beautiful art, stuff like that, They're drawn to like the artistic side. They're in music. Taurus is known for being very a musical sign. And so much as in Libra as well, because Venus is associated with music, as is Neptune, and Neptune is a higher octave of Venus, which is something else that I'll get into. Very, very interesting. Okay, so then Mars would Mars rules over Aries. So what happens here is that it gives Aries that, let's do this. that take that initiation, that cardinal energy. It's the beginning of a new day, a new season. Oh, that's something different. Oh, anyway, so Mars gives Aries that gusto, that get-the-go attitude, because it's energy. Mars is pure energy, and that's why you may know a lot of energetic Aries. You know, a lot of them I know just have energy. I mean, I don't know. It seems like they pull it out of nowhere, some deep reserve, to like have 3 kids and hold 5 jobs and go to school. I'm like, whoa. Okay, so then we have, excuse me, we have Jupiter. So that Jupiter rules over Sagittarius. And Jupiter represents, you know, learning and higher learning, higher education, and like I said, expansion in your life. And in this case, Jupiter wants to expand the mind. And that's what Sagittarius is all about, you know. They do want to expand the mind. Okay, moving on, we have Saturn. Saturn governs over Capricorn. And what happens here is the Capricorns may sometimes seem a little, a stick in the mud, a little boring. No, they're not. Far from it. But what happens is that it's like Saturn just kind of puts like a damper on things, like I said earlier. Capricorn is usually, like I said, very ambitious, and they get this from Saturn. You know what I mean? And Saturn will show itself through Capricorn in many different ways. I know I'm being very vague. I'm very sorry. It's just, I'm trying to keep this kind of basic. Okay, so then we have, moving on, we have Uranus. Uranus governs over Aquarius. So if you ever think about any type of sudden things that happen, Aquarius is, I always think this is the perfect example for Aquarius. Kramer, Kramer from Steinfeld, when he, you know, he just opens the door. Like, whoa, that's like sum it up right there. And then we have Neptune, which rules over Pisces, okay, and Pluto, which rules over Scorpio. So that covers that. And then I just want to get into, well, actually, I think I'm going to wrap this one up. I just want to talk quickly, like I said, about just the signs and what the planets are affiliated and how they would interact in your life and how they can influence your life in a way, if you believe in that kind of thing. I'm not saying the planets influence anything, okay? Astrology is just about, for me personally, gaining insight into your life and possibly helping you gain insight into others. Now, if it helps you, that's great. If you want to go home and read the Bible 100 times, that's fine too. Whatever you get your pleasure from, whatever helps you sleep at night, that's fine. And I just want to say in closing that astrology charts are a blueprint, a paradigm really, of what your life could be, what it can be. And the planets, the way they move, they continue to move while you are alive. And what that is called is a transit. So that's just what happens here, is that impacts anything will happen. Okay, so now I'm getting a little more into other things. I really look forward to telling more to you about astrology. And I hope I helped some people. I don't know how I came off in the video, but I am a pretty cool person. I will see you later.